Step 2, add E2E tests. We'll start by opening the app.po.ts file in the support directory of our source for our to-dos E2E app. The first helper we'll call getToDos, and we'll define this as a function that returns sci.get. And inside this get method, we'll add the CSS selector li.todo. Our second helper we'll call getAddToDoButton, and we'll define this as a function that returns our sci.get again, and pass in the CSS selector button with the ID addToDo. Now that we've defined our helpers in this page object file, we'll jump into the app.spec file. Notice we're visiting the root of our project before each. We'll import our two helper functions from our support/app.pageObject file, and we'll create a test here called itShouldDisplayToDos. Inside this test, we'll start with our getToDos helper function. At the start, we'll want to assert that we have two to-do list items. So we'll add the should method onto our getToDos and pass into the should method a function that will let Cypress know that the length of our to-dos should be equal to 2. Next, we'll want to click the Add To Do button. So we'll start with our getAddToDoButton helper and simply call click on it. Following this, we'll want to expect that our to-dos length is now equal to 3, so we'll use our getToDos method, and much like our first line, we'll assert that the number of to-do list items should be equal to 3. These are not great examples of E2E tests, but it'll suffice for the purposes of this tutorial. Now, if you haven't done so already, stop the nx.serve command and run nx E2E todos-E2E --watch. In one swoop, the script will both serve and watch our application and open up Cypress in watch mode. Once the initial serve step is complete, we'll see a nice Cypress GUI pop up with our test runner. And in this test file, we'll be able to see the different spec files we've written so far. We'll click on the button in the top right corner that says Run All Specs, and this will run our tests in a Chromium browser. Currently, our tests are failing, but as we progress through the tutorial, we'll work on making these E2E tests pass.